Hello everyone and welcome to our final part of our Women in Hunting series. I am your host, Mike Friesen, and today we are super excited. This is going to be my favorite episode because I get to interview my daughters. Woo! So here we have Isla, wave, and Olivia. So Isla is 9 and Olivia is 7. And we have gotten to do some pretty exciting stuff together so far for hunting. So thanks for being on the show. Are you excited?
Yes.
You're going to have to talk louder.
Yes. Too excited.
Too excited.
I just stuck
So
my hair.
you girls are the ones that are kind of growing up into hunting. We've talked to lots of ladies who are already done lots of hunting and stuff. So I want to know the hunts that we've been on. So Isla and I have been on a hunt where we've got a deer and a moose, so we'll talk about that. Livy, we've been on some elk hunts, but we haven't gotten anything yet. We're working on it, so that's exciting. So Olivia, let's start with you. So last year we went on, did we go on an elk hunt together last year?
Yes.
So how did you like that? Like, what are some of your favorite parts?
My favorite part was going downhill with the quad.
Going down the hill with the quad. Okay, so you like the quadding stuff? Yeah. And you also like hunting too, hey? Yeah.
I'm like a ninja. I'm so quiet.
You're like a ninja?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're pretty sneaky. So we've seen some animals. We went on a little bear hunt this spring too, and we got to see a bear. It was a little bit
It
too
ran
small.
off in the bush though.
Yeah.
And it didn't come back out. And it was the same one that you and Isla saw.
Yeah. Did you like seeing animals though too? Yeah.
I saw a bear before just across the road.
I know,
Yeah.
hey. So Isla, so what are some of your favorite things that you like to do when you go hunting?
When I go hunting, I feel happy outdoors.
Yeah. Like what makes you feel happy outdoors?
I don't know. It just makes me feel happy.
Yeah. So like, do you like the hiking aspect? Like, so last year, both of you came on our little father-daughter trip with Uncle Jeremy
Oh yeah.
and Hannah, right?
Yes.
So we went out to Pink Mountain and we did lots of quadding and some hiking. So
And we got stuck with the gator.
yeah,
And we were, all of us kids were so worried.
yeah. Well, it was
Right.
getting pretty late too.
Yeah.
And then, so what were some of your favorite things on that trip? Like, do you like the
It was fun.
camping,
It
or do you
was-
like hanging out with friends, or
I was-
sneaking up on animals?
It was fun to camp.
Yeah,
Not on an actual campsite.
yeah,
And it was kind of fun camping with our cousin. You know.
hmm like hanging out with your friend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then we got so busy when we were like sitting, we would grab sticks and we would carve stuff out of sticks.
right.
One time I carved a wrench.
A wrench. So when we were out in the mountains, like, what did you like about being out in the mountains? Because it's different than being here.
It was beautiful.
Right. So like, what was so beautiful about it?
Well, kind of like the sun glared down on the mountain,
Uh-huh.
so it kind of like shone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. What about you, Livy? Like, what were some of the fun things you liked about being in the mountains?
Hiking, because I'm a mountain goat.
Obviously.
I can run up mountains.
Yeah. Yeah, and we stayed out for a while too. Like, we weren't just hanging out at the camper. It was nice to be able to come back and sleep in the camper though, and cook food and stuff like that. But we were out for like the whole day. The one day when
Maybe next time we should go like camp
yeah,
in a tent.
do some camping. Like, in a tent.
Yeah, in a tent.
Oh, that would be kind of fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because I remember a couple spots where there was a big clearing with a couple small trees.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I snuck up on that bear You
I
guys
remember that.
stayed with Uncle Jeremy, but it was a pretty big bear, but it was a mama bear, so we decided not to shoot it.
Did it have any cubs with it?
It had an old cub with it.
An
It
old
probably
cub?
was going to get kicked out of the house pretty quick.
So you could have, but
Yeah.
you chose not to.
So you girls have also been learning firearm safety, right? So what are some of the important things to remember when you're handling a firearm? What's the number one rule? What should
Don't
you never
put your
do?
finger on the trigger.
Right. What else?
Always have the safety in.
On. Yeah. And what about pointing the gun? Where should the gun be pointed?
At the target.
At the target. And what about when you're carrying the gun? Where do you
On
put
the
it?
ground.
Right. Right. And so even when we're swinging the gun, we have to be careful that it doesn't swing and
To
point
a
it.
person.
That's right. Right. So we always carry it on the ground. Do we ever carry it loaded?
No.
No. Right. So we load the gun when we're actually
Whenever
on
we're
target.
shooting, we always carry the bullets.
Yeah, carry the clip. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So what are you thinking for hunting your first animal? Actually, let's talk about some stories first.
I remember one.
So, okay, you tell
About
a story.
Remember when we went on a bear hunt? We were sitting at a peak, and we were looking for bear, and then all of a sudden, right in front of our faces, I spotted a sow and 2 cubs, remember?
Yeah,
And we spotted the same pair this year.
right. Yeah, we did. We did.
I liked that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And then what do you remember when we went
For my first deer hunt,
your first deer hunt? Let's talk about that one.
I was pretty excited.
Yeah. You were, how old were you? 6?
6, because it was 2016.
You're almost 7.
Yeah.
Right.
'Cause it was in the
Or-
winter.
Yeah, that's
Wasn't
right.
it in spring?
No, you can't shoot deer in the spring.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So on that deer hunt, that was pretty cool because we spotted the buck, and then he was with a bunch of does, and he was running around after all the does because he wanted lots of girlfriends. And then we were trying to track the deer down, and it was just, you were pretty tired because the field stubble was really tall. You were smaller than you are now, like you were shorter, so you had a hard time going through that. And I remember we were going over the hill, and you were like, "Daddy, I'm so tired." I was like, "Okay, we'll peek over this one hill on the field, and if we can't get a shot, then we won't shoot." And it was a long shot, but I remember. Do you remember what you said when we got the deer?
Did I say what you always say?
Well, you were like super excited. You were like, oh my gosh, Dad. Oh my gosh, he's down. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited." And then we called Grandpa to come and
With the
bring
gator.
the gator. And then when we were walking up to the deer, I don't think you realized how big the deer was.
Yeah. And then I
And
lifted
then-
up the antlers, and it was so heavy.
It was heavy, but before you even got to the deer, you were like, Dad, is it
Yeah,
dead?
I remember that.
You were like, okay, we got to make sure it's dead here.
I will do that every time I shoot an animal.
Yeah.
For sure.
So then, Livy, we went on an elk hunt. Do you remember we went on an elk hunt right before you got your wisdom teeth out?
Huh?
Do you remember that one? Remember you had a nap? Remember we were with Uncle Jeremy, and you had a nap out on the hill?
At the ducks? Like
No.
by their place?
No.
Huh?
No, remember we were in that big river valley, and we were hiking, and then you had a nap, and it was like the weekend before you got your wisdom teeth out.
You
remember
have your
that
wisdom
one?
teeth out?
Not your wisdom teeth. Oh my goodness, your tonsils.
Daddy!
Oh man, your tonsils. My goodness. My goodness. So yeah, you've been out and you've been hiking. Remember we hiked down the quad trail all the way to the river, and then we hiked up the quad trail for a little ways, and we were glassing all over the place.
Went on top of the hill, but it was still slanted. We were not at the top of the hill yet, and we had some macaroni.
Yeah, we did.
Mountain House.
We had some macaroni mountain house, and then last fall you and I went on that moose hunt down by the same river. Do you remember that? And you took some really cool pictures.
No.
Do you remember we hiked around there? Daddy had his bow.
No.
I remember seeing pictures of you guys.
Yeah, you took that picture that I had on my phone. Remember we were hiking through? And it was really foggy. Do you remember? It was like super, super foggy, so we had to wait for the fog to clear.
I don't remember.
You don't? Well, we didn't really shoot anything, so okay. Let's go on to.
I remember.
So
a
Isla,
moose
you're
hunt.
gonna be 10 this year, in September.
I guess I better start studying my core book more.
So
She's not gonna return this September.
December.
Oh, you said.
Yeah. So next year, if you pass your hunting course, then you'll be able to go hunting. So what is like an animal that you just are so excited to shoot?
Bear.
Why? Why are you
After
so excited?
I tasted your jerky and pepperoni,
Yeah.
we need more.
So you want to help fill the freezer?
Uh-huh.
That's pretty cool. So you're probably gonna want to shoot it with a gun, hey?
My first animal will be with a gun.
Yeah.
That's for
So
sure.
we'll have to get a gun.
But it also might be deer. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The nice thing is
Deer's an easy animal.
you can get a deer tag and a bear tag. Maybe we'll leave the moose and the elk for the first year. I mean, we could put in for the calf moose draw for the
There's
youth.
a calf moose.
There is, yeah.
Oh.
So that youth can draw a calf moose, so we can put in for that.
We're allowed to shoot them.
Only youth are, and they
Oh.
have to be over a year old. So they can't be a fresh calf. They have to be an older calf.
I don't want to shoot a fresh calf.
But so there's that opportunity, and we've got some good deer hunting around here too now. So that's
Lots.
exciting.
After you found that whitetail spot.
Ooh, that didn't work out so well.
Olivia has a stick right there for firewood.
Okay, so Livy, let's talk about what you want to hunt.
I remember.
What are you thinking?
What's your favorite animal that you want to shoot first?
Moose.
You want to go for, well, so you're 7, so you've got a couple years yet. But yeah, that's really cool though, because we can work on marksmanship with a rifle, right? So we can get you accurate and things like that, and you can learn more about the animals. You can come on more hunts with me and learn too. But so we could put in for the calf moose draw when you're old enough too, and we could go for that, and then we could also go for deer, because we've got lots of deer around here. So could you imagine this
We got
though?
tons of bear too.
We do have quite a bit of bear. But could you imagine this? Could you imagine if both of you, when Livy's old enough too, both of you get 1 deer each?
Then you
I get a
2.
moose and a deer, or 2 deer.
That'd be like 5.
That's 5 animals in the freezer.
But then you and Uncle Jeremy also share animals.
But I mean, if we get animals by ourselves too,
Yeah.
can you imagine? We'll have so much pepperoni meat and jerky meat
Yay!
and hamburger and backstrap steaks and be so.
I'm dying. Yeah, and maybe I'm drooling.
Oh, you're drool. I know, it sounds so yummy. Okay, so there's white-tailed deer and muley deer. So what are you thinking? Are you thinking muley deer or
I
white-tailed
kind
deer?
of want to shoot a whitetail.
Yeah, they're pretty
It'd be
good.
interesting.
And maybe
because
we can get a crossbow that you girls
Mr.
could
Ryan
hunt.
said I could borrow one.
We could go and we could maybe shoot a deer in September. So that would be pretty cool. Yeah, and then we'll probably have to continue our trip too. Hey?
What trip?
Like our father-daughter trip to the mountains?
Yeah, we should do that. Like,
But wouldn't that be
we should
cool?
do that once a year. Thingy.
Well, yeah, but then when you girls are old enough to hunt too, you guys
We
can
can
bring your
also-
hunting
We
tags.
can also shoot animals along with you guys.
Yep.
Then the truck will definitely be full.
Daddy,
Which
that
will be
was
super fun. So, okay. So what else about hunting makes you really excited?
I also have one more story to tell.
Oh, tell
Remember
a story.
the moose we shot with Uncle Jeremy? Remember?
Yeah, I remember that.
I was in the truck and you guys went to shoot it, and then all of a sudden, bang, and I'm like, and so then we're going to find it, and Daddy said I could phone Mommy, and I was pretending to be you. I'm like, Mommy, moose down.
Yeah, that was pretty exciting too.
Except it was like really early in the morning, like 5 or something.
Yeah, it was like right in the first part of the light
Yeah.
of the day. Yeah, we pulled up to the side of the
I was
road
like,
and then
we see this
saw it in the
moose.
field there.
Moose.
So, well, that's kind of nice, like in August, right? Because you don't have to count points. You can shoot any bull.
Really?
Well, in that first part of August, right? As soon as it
first
switches to well, that's the last week of August, and then
Oh.
as it goes into September, then the rules change a
That's
little
cool.
bit. But you'll learn all about that when you take your core.
That's gonna be a lot of studying.
Okay, so why have you thought about why you want to hunt? Like what is so exciting about getting to go hunting? Livy, what's so exciting to you about like you being able to go hunting? You don't know?
I don't know.
But like why don't you just let me hunt? Like why do you want to go hunting too? Like why do you want to go hunting?
It's like
Because maybe we can each shoot an animal and we can pack out 2 animals.
Yeah,
you're gonna be
that'd be pretty exciting.
a lot of weight.
Well, for me, what I love a lot about it too is just the fact that we get to go out and spend time together. I really like that too.
It's kind of like for me, like quadding. It's okay when you're not driving the quad, but when you're driving the quad, it's super fun.
Right.
When you get to do it.
So like when you get to go hunting and you
Yeah.
know that you have the tag
So I can shoot an
so
animal.
that you can shoot an animal. That will be exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
And
probably
Livy
gonna scream
will
when I
both
shoot my
keep
first
practicing
animal.
shooting the 22, right?
Yay.
That'll be exciting, just keep learning safety and then learning how to shoot a little bit further distances, things like that too. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
What about like, would you rather stick with the trailer or would you like to try maybe tenting one
I
time?
would like to try tenting.
Yeah, what about you, Liv?
But scary shadows.
Well, you can't see the shadows when it's dark outside.
Especially when you have a sleep
No.
mask.
Yeah.
But then
Maybe
it's
like
kinda
set up a
creepier.
tent by a stream or something so you can just hear the water.
I would
Running.
like that.
Yeah.
But the beavers are gonna wake me up.
The beavers are going to wake you up? Oh my
They're
goodness.
gonna just be splashing probably. I'll be awake all night.
And be able to have campfires and eat Mountain House?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to do that because it's like, if we didn't bring any mountain house, you have to,
Oh, Daddy,
Like,
can
if-
we try to sleep in a tent tonight?
No.
not tonight, Olivia.
But, okay. Well,
I kind of want to eat mountain house because I have never actually tried it.
you haven't tried Mountain House?
Nope. Because every time we go camping with me, we always take the trailer.
Well, and that's because it's just nice to have a dry
Yeah.
place and...
But
cook
it's
your
also
stuff.
nice to tent.
Well, okay. Well, maybe the next time we go do the father-daughter trip, we'll bring some Mountain House with us.
And a tent. Or 2. Or 3.
Well, maybe a couple tents. That'll
Or
be
3.
fine. So, okay. Well, this was fun. I enjoyed your chat, and I'm super excited for you girls to grow up and come hunting so that I can just grab the video camera and film you guys hunting.
I forgot to talk about one more thing.
What's that?
The LEH straws.
Oh, yeah. Why don't you tell everybody what we do for the LEH
Every
straws?
year we put, we have a hat and we have 4 pieces of paper. One says elk, one says moose, one says deer, and one says bear. So we fold them up and we put them in the hat and shake it. And then every year me and Olivia have to dip in and get one. I've usually been getting bear, but this year I got deer.
And this year I got moose, and I usually got elk.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be fun because
Because, like, I've never
Livy-
been with you.
well,
for an
Livy
elk
hasn't really been moose hunting, so that'll be fun to do. And deer hunting, we've got a couple of new spots to check out. So that'll be exciting too.
Yeah.
It's getting to be past your bedtime, isn't it, Liv?
No.
Are you getting tired?
I'm not
Sleep in
tired.
a tent outside.
I know. Isn't it such a beautiful night? Like the sunset and the mosquitoes could
chair.
go away.
Oh,
Chair.
and deer, you really don't want to shoot deer because they have very good hearing and you might scare them off.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I don't think
You have to be super sneaky.
me and Dad saw like a mommy deer and a baby deer,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like so far away, and they literally put their heads up and heard us
Mm-hmm.
make a tiny itty bitty noise.
Yep. Yeah, no, you gotta make sure that,
Don't step on any dry twigs or something.
and they have really good noses, so you always want to make sure that the wind isn't blowing from you to them so they can't smell you. Right? Those are important things too. Okay, so last thing. Okay. So Livy, what's one thing you've learned on all the hunts we've done? What is like one thing that you've learned from hunting?
Well, if you see an animal, don't put it on the hunter that's going to shoot it. Put it on the animal.
The camera.
Oh, you're talking about filming.
Yeah.
That's a very good point. But what about when you spot an animal or you're sneaking up to it or you're hiking? Like what's something that you've learned when we're hunting, even if we're not filming it?
Okay, this is not about like animal stuff, but you've always told me hunting is not always shooting.
That's right. What does hunting
hunt,
mean?
Hunting means going out and looking for animals. You
Right.
don't shoot an animal every time you hunt.
That's right.
That would be a lot of
Hunting is the act of looking for the game, for the animal that you're trying to harvest, right? And it's about fair chase, right? It's about you against the animal, right?
Yeah.
So that's what the hunting part is, right? It's not just about killing it and tagging it out and putting it in the freezer. It's about the experience. It's about the fresh air, about the hiking.
That's what I like about being happy in the woods, the fresh air.
I love the fresh air. It's so fresh out here.
My shoulder.
Okay, well, do you have anything more you want to add about hunting?
Give us a minute.
Anything?
I like hunting. I like walking.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not much of a hiker.
Yeah.
It kind of feels... I don't feel tired when I'm hunting sometimes because it's like you're just like, you might see an animal, you could shoot it, you could, do anything.
Okay, well, I think that's a good place to end it. Thank you, girls, for joining to the conversation.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Well, we hope you enjoyed this final part 4 of our Women in Hunting series. And we thank Olivia and Isla for being on the show, which was super fun. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram at Pursue the Hunt, and head over to our YouTube channel where you can see all of our other interviews and hunting videos. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next episode.